What's going on, guys? This is Jailbreak Weekly, episode number 25. I'm your host, David Burns, and I am joined by my wonderful co-hosts. I have Mr. Andy Hoff. What's going on, Andy?
Not a lot. How you doing, David?
I'm doing pretty well. It's a nice show that we have here this weekend. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, so let's get into it. My second co-host is Mr. Justin Wack. What's going on?
Not too much, just living the dream.
I'm almost surprised that you did not say that you were last.
You know, I've kind of just accepted it. Half accepted it.
Justin's just learned his place. Like, you know, in a very sad way, he's just kind of learned
No.
He's accepted
Andy,
it. He's accepted
Andy,
the harsh realities.
Andy, at least I'm not the last one to show up for the podcast.
Hey.
Oh.
I beat you today. Today I was there before you were.
Actually, I was on the Hangout before you were, so.
But I was on FaceTime with David
technically he did
before
beat
you were on the
Technically
Hangout.
he did beat you.
Yeah,
I know.
he
got you on a technicality, Andy. Technically,
I beat him in spirit, in dedication and spirit.
Because technically, he was on Hangouts before you were. So
yeah, Andy.
But again, in terms of dedication and spirit, I blew you out of the water. So.
All right. Well, you know what? It's episode 25. It's time to start. So let's get this show on the road.
Yes.
Okay. So, what's up? What's been going on, guys?
Not too much. I mean, I've just been chilling here. I made a new video today, which was a long time coming. I haven't made a good edited video in a little while, so it was good to get back to doing that. I might make another video soon, another edited video soon. It's just the problem is it takes so long, and then I procrastinate it, and then it's just like with everything else. But I'm learning to kind of, you know, like, David, you have to do it. People want to see it, you know. I'm learning to, like, push myself to do it. So, hopefully, if I'm not too lazy, there should be another one out by the end of the week.
Man, your videos sound like my math homework. No, like...
I mean, it's not like I don't enjoy doing it. It's just, like, it's like, I don't know. Like, okay, I'll tell you this story real fast. It's just, like, a quick story. Like, okay, so I filmed the latest... And we'll have this in the description because it's a tweak we're gonna talk about later on in the show, you know, today. But basically, I filmed my latest video, which was the SweetDisplay review, and I was filming that, and it was like real late. But I was like, I don't want anyone to know that it's like really, really late. So I set my date back, and I know, Andy, this is like what you do sometimes too. Is I set my date and time back a little bit so like people wouldn't know that it was actually like 2 o'clock in the morning. It was like 9:30 in the morning or 10 o'clock in the morning.
Oh,
so it was
half
like
the time I just leave it. Like, especially if it's a jailbreak tutorial.
If it's a jailbreak tutorial, it's different. But if it's like a regular video, I just feel bad because like somebody's gonna point out, oh, come on, you could have like gotten the video recorded at like 10 o'clock instead of 2 o'clock in the morning. But
hey, I don't judge night owls. I'm a night owl.
Yeah.
So
hey, I mean, look, we're recording this podcast at like 12 a.m. Eastern time right now. So, I mean, you can't really judge night owls. But yeah, I mean, that's good. I've been pretty busy with final exams right now and stuff like that. Because how our high school works up here is we have 2 different semesters. So first semester, it's similar to how university works, except it goes a little longer. So first semester ends at the end of January. So, yeah, I mean, it's been really busy just getting ready for those and preparing for those. But, yeah, otherwise it's been good. It's been really good.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been nice. I had a really nice break, you know. Went to Chicago. I talked about this last week. And my brother's roommate visited, you know, for the past few days.
How was the movie? I meant to ask you that.
Oh, yeah, it was great. I saw Daddy's Home. It wasn't quite as funny as I had hoped.
Oh, you did see it? Okay.
It was pretty good, though. Like, it had some really good moments. And the ending was really awesome, too. So.
Yeah, no spoilers, but, yeah, the ending the ending was funny.
I want to see that, so don't spoil it.
I'm, like, biting my tongue, David.
Somebody dies.
It's like an inside joke that only you would understand.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure if you would have listened to our bloopers, you would. But anyway, so in terms of Jailbreak news, it was quite a busy week this week. What's been going on, guys?
So there's been a few things that have been happening. We obviously the whole 3K assistant thing, and then now I think as of 2 days ago this happened. Luca Todesco on Twitter basically showed off a screenshot of Cydia running on his iPhone 6s on 9.2.1 jailbroken. And this is extremely exciting to know because before this, iOS 9.2.1 was unconfirmed whether or not it was able to be jailbroken. We just didn't know because nobody had publicly shown off that, hey, we were able to jailbreak iOS 9.2.1. Because it's really not in public release yet. It's only in the second beta stage, so that's why I would assume nobody has come out and said, hey, we can jailbreak it, and we did jailbreak it and show proof. But yeah, so this is really awesome to know this because, I mean, whoever is planning the next jailbreak, what are they going to do? Are they going to, release it now or, 2 months from now or whenever? Are they going to release it? Are they going to wait to release it until 9.2.1 releases? That's what I'm thinking. Obviously we'll get everybody's, we'll go around and get everybody else's opinion. But yeah, so that's basically what's been going on.
Yeah, it's really exciting. I mean, first of all, for not even just because it's a beta. It's always exciting to see, any reputable developer post proof that they have a jailbreak. And especially, again, if it's for the latest version of iOS, as a whole. So this is 9.2.1 beta. It's the latest version. I'm assuming that this also works on 9.2 as well. I think that's safe to assume.
Yeah.
Right.
But I just want to address quickly, this most likely will not be released by Luca Todesco. In fact, in the tweet...
Yeah, in the tweet itself, I was just going to comment on that. In the tweet itself, he actually said, basically, I don't intend to release it.
Yeah, he said no releases. Yeah. So, I don't know. He's probably tweeting this, again, just to kind of, for proof of concept, which is fine. That's... A lot of people get this conception that they have to release if they prove it, or if they tweet it, but that's not true. That they're just, they can do whatever they want with their own work.
You know what? Here's what I say to people that say that. I would rather have someone, post this as a proof of concept and say, I'm kind of holding this back to myself. I'm not going to release it publicly, but just throwing this out there to let you guys know that this can be done. I'd rather have that happen and see, oh yeah, iOS 9.2.1 could be jailbroken than be completely in the dark and not know whether it can be jailbroken.
I agree.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I mean, here's my 2 cents on this. Obviously, him choosing not to release it is his choice, and I'm gonna respect that. But I do have to wonder what his motives behind that are. To not release it.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a few different ways you could look at it. Well, first of all, let's just look back for a second. So with the iOS 9.0.2 jailbreak from Pengu earlier this year in October, both Luca Todesco and I Hate Snow did play a role in that. I mean, on Twitter, Pengu did, shout them out directly after that release. And I believe some of the code from Luca Todesco's project by the name of Yalu was used in Pengu 9. So it's definitely clear that they have a relationship with each other, Pengu and Luca Todesco.
Yes.
So you gotta
potentially
wonder,
there could be some sort of work with Pengu in this exploit in the future, but that's purely speculation.
Well, that's what I'm wondering here. You gotta wonder is that we've seen previously, like you just pointed out, that they were using his vulnerability, his bug. So what I'm wondering is that gonna be the same way with Taiji or whoever the next whoever comes out the next jailbreak? Are they going to use his or somebody? I mean, I guess that could be the motive behind it is, hey, I'm not releasing it, and I'm not going to tell you who is, but maybe somebody else is coming out with what I'm coming out, what I'm not going to come out with.
It's possible, but also you have to keep in mind this could easily just be him keeping it to himself with no intentions to share it. Again, you never know. Basically, you never know.
I think that this does also bear keeping in mind as well, and I highly doubt that this is the case because Luca Todesco seems like a reputable developer, but this could also be him just trolling as well.
I don't know. I highly doubt it because he's clearly established himself as being reputable, so I don't know why he would fake this, honestly.
Yeah, and like I said,
he's
I
actually
agree
proven.
with you, but...
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt.
Here's the thing: the reason why, and this is why it adds some, evidence to Justin's point. The reason why we could kind of speculate about that is because it's a screen. I mean, he only showed off a screenshot of Cydia that said iOS 9.2.1 iPhone 6s. So
he also sorry to interrupt, David. He also tweeted some proof after that. He followed that up with another tweet. I believe it basically included something. think it was a link to something about the kernel dump, or I think that was what he posted. Yeah, it was the kernel dump for iOS 9.2.1, and I believe, I'm not incredibly technical here, but I believe that's only possible if you're jailbroken. So
yeah, and like I said, I highly doubt that him trolling is the case, but I think it is just worth bearing in mind. You know, and look, personally, I highly doubt it. I'd be completely shocked if this was just an attention grab. And yeah, I mean, look, like I said, this is very likely a real jailbreak. I just thought it bared pointing out. So, I mean, yeah, overall, nothing is really too concrete. We don't know a whole lot. There were just some tweets released. We'll have the link to these tweets in the show notes. And yeah, I mean, I think, David, you and a few other people started something, right, to alert people to fake jailbreaks, and also if a real jailbreak has been dropped. Do you guys want to tell us about? Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so basically I made up a, basically right now it's just on Twitter. And we made this Twitter account called Jailbreak Busters. So the way this actually got started is, and it's just gonna be really brief because I don't want to take up, you know, an extreme amount of time. But basically what happened was, I think it was like the day after New Year's. Time doesn't matter anyway. But so I was just sitting down eating lunch, and I was noticing that all these people were claiming, oh yeah, we have a jailbreak working, you know, sign up here, download this, download that, and then
Yeah.
it was obviously fake, but there was half of the community, us, and probably a lot of the people, you guys, probably a lot of the people that are listening to us right now, that know, hey, this isn't really legitimate. Like,
Yeah.
it's not, you know, an actual jailbreak. But there are some people that are newcomers to the community, like the other half of the community, because there's people coming in every day that are new, that wouldn't know the difference and that would think, oh, hey, this is a new jailbreak for 9.2 or 9.2.1. And there are people claiming to have those jailbreaks. And it really, you know, it makes me upset to see, you know, to see that happening, because I know a lot of people tag me in things and say, hey, is this real? Hey, is this legit? No, obviously it's not. And that's why I got so frustrated at one point, because I was, you know, they created a group chat for like jailbreak scammers or whatever. It was me and a few other people, and I was like,
Yeah.
I really want to do something about this. So hence Jailbreak Busters. That's how it got started. And right now, like I said, it's just on Twitter. In the future, we may have plans to start up a Jailbreak News YouTube channel where we talk about just like, I guess, things that were going on in the community, such as like maybe if an actual jailbreak release, we talk about that. Obviously, if fake jailbreaks were, you know, coming out that we exposed, we talk about that as well. I don't know what's going to happen. We might do that, we might not. But if you guys think it's a good idea, definitely let us know on Twitter. But yeah, so the Twitter for it is at Jailbreak Buster. At Jailbreak Busters was taken, but our name is at Jailbreak Buster. So yeah.
Yeah, and we'll have
what I have to say about that, and hopefully it benefits the community a lot. That was the whole intention of me starting this up, because I really wanted to, you know, say for the new guys that were coming in, hey, there's, you know, a community of people you can trust. Like, these guys are no good. These guys are scammers. These guys are trolls. These guys are people that know
Yeah.
that they can get to people like this that are, you know, that have no clue, you know, evasion from whatever is my point, or not evasion, let's say Pengu or Taiji from a fake website that is claiming that if you give them $50 that they'll jailbreak your iOS 10 iPhone 8. Like, doesn't really make any sense. So,
yeah, guys,
that's all I wanted to say on that.
Well, that's awesome, dude. Props for that.
Yeah,
That's
really.
a great idea. And we'll have the link to the Jailbreak Buster Twitter account in the show notes as well.
Yeah, it's just really nice. I really like it when I see, you know, members of the jailbreak community doing things like this, just to kind of, you know, keep everyone informed and just keep everything honest. And yeah, it's just really nice. I like people doing things to help the community.
Yeah, and I did notice.
Great idea.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just said definitely.
Yeah, I'm all
That's
set.
all I said.
And I did notice that I think you guys topped 200 followers on Twitter, which is awesome. So
That was
congratulations.
In like 1 week.
In
That
two,
was
no,
crazy.
in 2 days we hit like 180 followers. It was like insane.
Wow,
like
that's crazy.
It was
yeah.
well. I think mainly the main reason about it, the main reason why, is because I posted our jailbreak, and it seemed like a lot of people liked, the idea of the community, a certain amount of people, the community just stepping up and, taking responsibility for things like this. Because we as a community, I think, should step up and take responsibility for these type of things, because people really don't know the difference between a legitimate jailbreak versus something that's a scam. So, and I think that's the reason why we need to take a stand as the community. So that is the reason why I decided to make this account. It's been doing really well. Hopefully it does well in the future, and we will let you know if any more scam fake jailbreaks, happen, and we'll let you know if any legitimate jailbreaks happen.
Absolutely,
awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
So, as of yesterday, unfortunately, because it's 12:07 now, but it would have been today if we got talking about this a little bit earlier in the show. But today, or yesterday, was the 9th anniversary of the iPhone. It was the iPhone's birthday. So it's, the 9th anniversary of when Steve Jobs introduced the iPhone, which is just crazy to think about, that it's already been 9 years. Crazy.
I know.
Wow.
It is crazy.
Yeah, that's insane.
And then
It's
next
a device
year it's going to
that's-
be the 10th year. That's going to be even more insane.
I wonder what
Yes.
Apple is going to do for that. I wonder if they're going to do anything for the 10th anniversary of the iPhone. Maybe they'll give all their loyal users free iPhones.
Yeah, I'm sure that's gonna
I
happen.
doubt that's going to happen.
No, come on, guys. I mean, Apple's
Maybe
like the
they'll do
most
maybe
charitable.
they'll run like a contest or
I
something.
know.
Guys.
They're known
Something.
for being charitable.
Yeah, like come on.
They have like more money than the U.S. government, and they just hand it out for free.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I honestly don't think that they'll do anything massive, because they usually don't follow like major number things. Because
Yeah.
basically, like, I mean, look at iOS 7. iOS 7 is a random number, and they decided they're gonna revamp their OS. So I think they just do whatever the hell they want, basically.
Yeah. And
I
then
don't know
there's
if it's gonna
Microsoft
be-
who skips Windows 9.
Yeah. I was just going to say, I don't know if it's going to be, I don't think it's going to be a huge major change in 10 this year, but I'm expecting to see a few new things, because they can't hit 10 without making a few improvements.
Oh, yeah.
A few
Yeah,
new
I mean-
additions. There's no way it's going to be like a 7 to 8 or an 8 to 9 where there's like little to no changes at all.
Yeah, I would assume. What do you guys think about this whole no headphone jack thing that they've been pushing over the past few?
Honestly, yeah,
I don't like
honestly,
the idea of
it's-
it. Do I think it's legitimate? Possibly. Because Apple likes everything to be thinner, so it makes sense. And the only way they could get the iPhone even thinner than it is now is probably to get the headphone jack out. So it does make sense.
The only way that I could see them actually doing that is if they shipped the devices with Lightning headphones.
Right,
as-
well, that's
as
another
the
thing,
alternate.
too.
which they will
They'd
too.
have to
Yeah.
supply that.
Yeah.
They will
And
too. Yeah.
what I'm wondering is, would it make it any more expensive to actually do that?
Probably not.
Realistically, I'd say probably not, because actually, if anything, no. I don't think it would. And if it did, it'd be like infinitesimal amounts of money. But what I will say is, with this, here's my only concern. Hopefully, at least, you'll be able to get an adapter so that you can plug in, standard 3.5 millimeter headphones to your Lightning port. But my only concern is, how are you going to use your headphones and charge your phone at the same time?
Right.
Yep, that's the same concern that I have, actually.
Well,
I think I was just talking
is,
about this.
I'm
Yeah.
guessing they'll probably come out with like, because the same thing came up with the what is it called, the USB Type C connection on the new MacBooks. Is
Right.
well, how are you supposed to, if it's just one port, how are you supposed to plug multiple things in at the same time? And they came out, oh, okay, well, there's going to be adapters for it, so you can have
Yeah.
multiple things plugged in.
Well,
so
yeah,
that's
no.
what I'm assuming is going to happen.
But see, that's going to be extremely cumbersome to have to use
That is true.
Yeah.
an adapter. Now, that does come with some trade-offs, though, because the Lightning, who knows what they'll be able to do sound-wise with the Lightning port as the main area where the headphones get plugged in. They could definitely do some major sound things. But yeah, I could totally see an extra like $50-$60 in adapters if they do this, because you're gonna need one to connect your headphones to your Lightning port. You might even want one to connect your Lightning headphones to your computer. So I could just see a whole amount of adapters that are going to have to be purchased. But we'll know in June, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, if this is true,
do,
one thing we know for sure is that Beats are going to start coming with these, right?
Well, okay, but I mean, look, we don't know any of this for sure, so I think it's.
I'm saying because if it's like legitimate, if they're actually going in this direction, like if this
becomes
true.
Yeah, then I'm assuming I think I read it was an article somewhere that they said Beats is making new Bluetooth headphones that you'll have to buy for the iPhone or something like that. But yeah, I mean,
that was what I was going to say. Bluetooth is going to be huge as well. I mean, Apple might ship their iPhones with Bluetooth headphones.
Yeah,
that's a possibility.
And that's a problem. I don't like Bluetooth. I never have been a Bluetooth headphones person. It lowers the audio quality for me. On some applications and stuff, and B, I don't like it because it makes voiceover not very responsive. But I mean,
yeah, there's definitely a lag with Bluetooth audio.
I mean,
for sure.
I really like my 6S, and I don't think I'm gonna be buying the 7. I think I'm just gonna stay.
Oh, well, you say that now, but
no,
the hype starts up.
I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna stay because I just seem to have better luck with phones on the S lines, like the 4S, the 5S. The 6 was the only iPhone that I got that wasn't on the S variant, and I just seem to have so many problems with it, like hardware issues, software, like, so I don't know. And I mean, obviously, iOS 8 was an absolutely horrendous operating system.
8.0.1.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's not get into that.
Let's not talk about that. The software that must not be named.
As far as Apple's quality goes, but I mean, yeah. I personally, I'm feeling like I might just stick with my.
Yeah.
Yeah, and unfortunately, one problem with iOS 8, I think, as well, is that in terms of the jailbreak scene, the tweaks released for iOS 8 weren't all that great, but that has completely changed in iOS 9. So Andy, what do we got for this week for tweaks?
Yeah, great segue. That was an awesome transition.
That was an amazing segue. I just had to do that.
It was flawless. Justin, you rock.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So here we go. So first up, we have SweetDisplay. We briefly mentioned this earlier. So SweetDisplay it's basically an update or a new version of a tweak that's called Display Candy, which was for iOS 6 and iOS 5. Basically, what this tweak does is it allows you to add new custom animations when you launch and close applications on your device. So it's kind of similar to Barrel in the sense that it allows you to have like fun, goofy animations like ripple, there's like a ripple effect, page curl, cube, stuff like that. And yeah, it just spices up, when you open and close applications on your device. And yeah, this is a completely new developer who basically brought this tweak to iOS 9. TweakWiz is his name. And it's just really good to have it back. Pretty much all the settings are almost identical. If not directly identical, they're almost identical to the old settings panel. You could configure the animation speed, and you could configure the animation itself. But very easy to set up. Great tweak. It's a lot of fun. So what do you guys think?
Sorry. Go ahead, Justin.
Thanks. There's two things. I'm really surprised that TweakWiz was not taken as a name, so props to the developer for finding that. And B, it just seems like there's so many Barrel copies out there. Like, it seems like there's a lot of, tweaks that are meant to copy Barrel or in some way, take influence from Barrel. And I just want to take a moment to acknowledge, like, obviously, Barrel is a legendary tweak, but here's another example of why it's a legendary tweak. I mean, they often say that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, and I mean, if I was the developer of Barrel, I think I would take notice of this. Yes.
Yeah.
But
I mean, this tweak isn't necessarily like Barrel because it's when you launch apps as opposed to like swiping through your pages, so it's like a different place to have animations, but I would say the animation styles are similar.
Yeah, and see that's the thing. So I mean, if you're a Barrel fan, then because and that's the thing. I mean, obviously no one's gonna directly copy Barrel because there's no point, and B, it would start a lot of drama that people don't want. But there's a time and place for everything, and I think that this tweak definitely has its time and place. On a blind user's phone, personally, no, I don't think it has a time and place, but obviously that's because I can't do animations really. So, but I don't know. David, what do you think though?
It looks fantastic. It's such a great tweak. And shameless promotion here. I did make a video today, which I actually talked about earlier. And Andy did as well. We'll have both of our videos in the show notes. But anyway, yeah. So it was. It's a great tweak. You know, it was just I loved the original. Display candy back on iOS 6, and I was always kind of like when if I would be like what's something that's missing from 6 or an earlier firmware that we haven't seen updated yet, I'd always say display candy. I've never seen there's been talk about, oh hey, somebody might be updating this, and just never happened. So this was one of the tweaks on my list that I really wanted to be updated for. The latest firmware at the time was 7, 8, and now finally 9. And thankfully now finally on 9 somebody was able to update it for 9. So it's great. I wonder how long it took him to actually go ahead and update it too, because obviously it's probably not the same code, obviously, but it's very similar in the fact that it's all the same animations and stuff, and it works basically the same way. So I would assume he just probably got all the basic stuff and made it iOS 9, made an iOS 9 version.
Okay.
Yeah.
Time out for a second. Okay, so you guys both made videos on this tweak, correct?
Yes.
Yes, we did.
Are you both up for a friendly wager?
About.
Okay, here's my proposal.
What?
Here's okay. Are
I'm
you both
what
up
he's
for?
talking about.
Are you both up? Are you both up for a friendly competition?
Sure.
I guess so.
I'm up for a friendly competition.
Okay, here's my proposal. I propose that we do a Twitter poll on our Jailbreak Cast Twitter account, and we provide links to both Andy and David's video, and we will see who has made the better video.
It's honestly, I gotta give it to Andy. Andy's super descriptive with everything, and I just.
Oh well, thank you, David. That's very
I'm
nice.
not.
But your video was very nice. I just watched it this afternoon. It was awesome.
I think
I
you
honestly
guys-
think that this could be a fair fight. It's a very fair fight.
I think you guys need to have a competition. I really do.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
okay?
but how
I'm
many
with
people
Justin
are
on
actually
this
gonna
one.
do this? Like, we have 0 viewers right now, so. That's why I'm wondering.
Well, this is a live show, and it's in the middle of the night. So I honestly think, with 100 Twitter followers, I think we could get this going.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. It's
Okay.
happening.
Let's do it.
Wait, so when is this? I guess when the Twitter poll expires is when it'll be over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll drop it in the show notes. But yeah, in regard to SweetDisplay itself, it's something that I really like. I don't know if I'm going to be keeping it on my device. I have it installed right now. I have the Ripple animation set when I launch and close apps. The animation, just the time that it takes to launch apps is occasionally frustrating because it definitely is slower than the stock animation. But there was a recent update to it that allowed you to customize the animation into an even lower or quicker extent. So that's a little bit better, but I'm just not sure if it's going to, stay on my device. But I don't know. I'm definitely going to try to keep it here because I think it makes it, it just spices things up and makes everything look nice. So, once again, SweetDisplay, it's available for $1.99 in Cydia. It's from TweetWiz. So next up, we have redesigned notifications. This is another Cydia tweak. This is from Brand Dev. This one's available for $1.99. And this tweak basically allows you to completely redesign your lock screen notifications. So basically, after you install this tweak on your device, you can go into the preferences for it, and you have various options, various configuration options you could just change up to your liking. The most noticeable options are the color options. You can customize the color of the actual bubble itself, the message sender, the message content. There's also some other settings. For example, you could round off some of the message icons, like the actual bubble itself and the little message icon. Transparency settings, you could align the text in the message to the left side of the screen. There's like a privacy mode that will hide the actual message until you unlock your phone. There's just various options. You can basically change up the look of notifications. So what do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, again, like I said with the last tweak, probably not applicable for me just because of the visual settings, but I can definitely see where it would have a use case.
Yeah, definitely. What about you, David?
I think it's nice, but there's been so many notification, tweaks to fool around with that I mean, I don't really use notifications that much. I mean, I see, notifications come in and stuff, but I mean, it's just I'm fine with the way it happens stock. I mean, other than the
I hear you.
3D touch to clear all notifications, other than that tweak, I'm probably okay with just the stock way of, notifications.
Something I find interesting, and obviously it's not customizable, which is really a shame, because where I could totally see this tweak doing well is with notifications on the Apple Watch. Changing the look of how things look on the Apple Watch, where you could change your glances and your your notifications when a message pops up and that kind of stuff. Like, I could see this tweak definitely shining in that respect, but yeah, unfortunately, there hasn't been an Apple Watch jailbreak or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, look, personally, like I said, not my thing, but I could definitely see a use case.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. It's something that I'll keep it there for a while, and it's really cool when messages pop up on my lock screen. I get to see all the new color changes and whatnot. But I don't know. I guess I'll keep it on here for a while. Sometimes these things start to get on my nerves if the colors are too bright and it's distracting. But I don't know. It'll just be interesting to see.
Oh, I know. Bright colors are so annoying.
Yeah, I mean, they are. Like, sometimes it's just, like, blaring in my face, and I'm just like, you know what, I just want to read this message, so, I don't know. We'll just have to see. But
Man,
for now, it's installed.
Bright colors hurt my eyes, man. Like, they just annoy me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't deal with them, man. Like, no. So this is $1.99, Andy?
Yeah, $1.99. It's from Brand Dev.
Nice.
Alrighty. So next up we have Akri. I could be pronouncing that wrong. It's spelled Akri. I'll just leave it at that. Basically, what this tweak is it's another lock screen launcher for iOS, and we've seen a lot of these released recently, and a lot of people kind of criticize the fact that there's so many, but I think it's good because it just empowers jailbreakers with more choices. So basically, how this one works is you install it on your device, you go into the settings, and you have the ability to basically choose certain applications to show up on the lock screen. Once you set the apps to show there, basically how it works is on your lock screen, as opposed to swiping from left to right, which is normally how you unlock your device, you swipe the other way from right to left, and then it's going to basically allow you to swipe through the apps that you chose. And it's a little strange how it works because it only allows you to view one app at a time on one screen, and the app icon just shows up right in the middle of the screen. You could just tap on that app and it'll launch it. It just seems a little inefficient, the fact that there's only one app per page and the app icon's just really small and you just tap on it. But I don't know, maybe if you just want something really simple, this could do it for you. And again, it's another choice, so why not? Once again, it's $2.99. It's called Akri. What do you guys think?
This is very Android-esque, in my opinion. I know in Android, before, I'm not sure if you can still do this. I think you can. In Android, you can use, you could swipe left. I think it was for your camera or your phone. I can't remember, but it's almost like an expanded version of what Android allows you to do. But I mean, look, it's definitely very Android-esque in its presentation style, almost expanded of what Android allows you to do. But personally, I've never really been into the whole lock screen tweaks. Like David said, I'm fine with stock. In that regard. Now, I would love, again, like I went back to earlier, I would love to, have them on my Apple Watch, but that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah. See, I wonder if really I guess from what we've seen already, that's pretty much it about what you can tap into with the Apple Watch. Because I really, since you can connect it, you need a phone or, you need an iPhone to be able to connect it to. So what I'm wondering is, I guess you would need an Apple Watch jailbreak to be able to access other things on the watch, but it's weird to me how, like, having a jailbreak on the phone wouldn't give you access to much of anything regarding the watch.
Well, I mean, the watch is a separate device. So, yes, you have root access on the phone, but you don't have root access on the watch. Granted, you can access some of the watch's frameworks from the phone, but I don't think you can actually make tweaks to the watch and that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, overall, it's a nice tweak. Props to the developer and everything, but personally, I just couldn't see myself using it.
Yeah, I don't know. The thing is, I've used other lock screen tweaks. In fact, right now I'm actually using Jelly Lock, which is another one. I think this is my favorite one. It's basically, it's all on one page. You just tap a little dot in the middle of your screen, then a bunch of apps fan out, and you could just drag and release your finger on an app. I prefer that style when it's all right on one screen as opposed to having several swipes away. But that's just me. Well, what about you, David? Is this something you would use on your device?
Possibly. I mean, I don't know. Maybe. I don't really. I haven't. Okay, so last time. So when I first actually jailbroke my iPhone 6s back when Pangu came out and everything was getting updated, I actually think Berry C8 was already compatible, I think.
Yeah, but, I used that one for a while too. Yeah.
But Berry C8 for a long time, for the better part, I would say of probably a month, I was using Berry C8. And then as I needed to do videos and uninstall things and install things, it just got off my phone. And I've been meaning to put something like this on here, so
I would recommend Jelly Lock.
Yeah,
it's the best.
So I might actually go with Jelly Lock, but I don't know, possibly I might go with this and Jelly Lock.
Yeah, I mean, you know, again, there's a lot of these lock screen launchers, so it's just good to have choice. And once again, this is $2.99. It's from TweakWiz and Turna.
Nice.
So next up we have a tweak that I can't pronounce, but I'm gonna try it just for everyone's amusement. Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting Andy's attempted pronunciation.
Here we go. Eucnide.
I feel like that was totally wrong.
Okay,
well,
how
of course
is it?
It was.
How is it spelled?
Eucnide.
Oh God, I'm stumped. Okay.
Yeah. But it's available for $1.99. It's from Quantum Tweaks. And basically, this tweak, it's a control center app switcher fusion. And it's basically a new interpretation on that concept. So basically, how it works is after you install it on your device, you bring up Control Center. Basically, the first screen for this tweak that just pops up immediately is your control center. You have all your Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi, airplane mode, Bluetooth, etc. All the toggles. You have your brightness slider and the quick launch toggles at the bottom. If you slide down on that interface, then you get your app switcher, and it's very similar to OXO Legacy Edition. The way that this looks, it's basically the old school app cards. The little small ones down at the bottom of the screen. You could swipe from left to right. And it's just very similar to OXO Legacy Edition and kind of like iOS 6-ish. Then you could slide down again. Then you're going to have your music controls down there and AirDrop as well. And I got to say, everything's laid out very nice. And it's not quite as smooth as things like OXO or Sang. It's just the way that the animations work when you launch apps. But hey, it's another alternative, and it definitely looks a little bit different. And again, it's kind of similar to what I was just mentioning earlier. And there's multiple versions of the same concept. I think it's good for the community. So, anyways, what do you guys think about this?
Well, I mean, okay, I'm a huge fan of OXO's multi-center.
Me too.
That's always been my go-to if it's accessible.
Right.
So personally, I mean, I could see a use case for this tweak. In fact, I am probably going to give it a spin just to see how it works.
Yeah.
But
by the way, have you tried OXO 3 to see if it's accessible?
You mean OXO 4? Is it OXO 3 or 4?
It's still it's weird because it's still OXO 3. It should be OXO 4, but
that's weird. Yeah, I was actually it's funny. I was trying to download it, and then my Cydia would not refresh, and it took like 20 minutes for my Cydia to refresh, and then
it's probably hanging up on like the
Ultra Snow repo.
Yeah, the Ultra Snow repo.
It's the old unlocks from back in the day.
Yeah. But so I mean, personally, I'm a huge fan of multi-center, so definitely I might consider this tweak. Now see, what I would love is if they had kind of like the multi-center layout, and then you could swipe down and get your music controls. So if they had multi-center and the app switcher on this, control center and the app switcher on the same page, and then you could scroll down for your music controls, that would be fantastic. I would love that. But I mean, they don't obviously, but yeah, definitely I'd still consider this as a alternative to OXO for multi-center.
See, I'm a big OXO fan. I know there was some controversy with the OXO redesign for iOS 9, but I'm a huge fan of it. I use it every day. But again, this is just another alternative, and I've been playing with it. So, what about you, David? Is Eucnide something that you would use on your phone?
I mean, I've always been a big OXO guy, and you know what? To the point that you guys made a few shows ago, oh, David, you'll get used to it. It's not so bad. I do have to give you credit because you were right. I got used to it. It's not so bad, but I do miss the old layout. Right now? What?
Are you using OXO right now, or are you using Sang?
I was using. Is it Sang or Sung?
I don't know.
I've heard people pronounce it both ways, so that's why I don't know if it's Sang or Sung. I'm just gonna say Sang because I feel like that's what it is, but I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, so I had Sang, but it kept crashing for like some unknown. Like it literally kept respringing my phone, and it was driving me insane. So I was just like, all right, I'm getting rid of this. So I got rid of it and then reinstalled OXO 3, or really OXO 4, back onto my phone. And you know, I have to say I do like it. There are some aspects of it I don't love because you know sometimes it'll be hard to get to the multi-center card because sometimes it doesn't always cooperate. And then if I'm all the way at the other end of the app switcher, I have to, you know, scroll all the way back to get to the multi-center card. So that's one of the reasons why I don't love it. But I think, isn't there an option where you could like swipe up and it'll like go, or is that just? Yeah. I think that's just the quick
that's
switcher.
An option. No, that's an option. It's something I've played with, but it annoys me because whenever I try to go to my multitasking, it takes me to the card. But I don't know. I'm fully content with OXO. But anyway, what do you think about Eucnide or whatever it's called?
I don't know. I mean, it's like you said. I totally agree with that. It is good to let the community have choices. And let's see, how much is it? It's $1.99, right?
Yeah, $1.99.
So you figure it's cheaper than OXO, right? Because OXO is a few bucks, I think, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So it's cheaper than OXO, and obviously it doesn't have the quick switch or any of the hot corners or any of that. So you're losing some functionality, obviously. But if all the person wants that's looking for something like this is this functionality, then I would see where some would maybe, you know, pick this instead of OXO if they want that functionality for a cheaper price.
Yeah. It's definitely, it's more simple. It's just a simpler concept. It doesn't try to do quite as much as OXO.
No, OXO's very ambitious with what it tries to do, yeah.
Yeah, and, you know, don't get me wrong with the animations. When you bring up the tweak itself by swiping up from the bottom of the screen, that's very clean animation. It's just when you launch the apps, it's a little not so smooth. But, again, it's up to you. You guys can check it out. So, once again, that's Eucnide. Hopefully I'll never have to say that again. It's available for $1.99.
Except in possibly another video.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, I don't know. I might make a video about this. But anyways, next up we have App Admin.
This is a cool one.
Yeah, definitely. Very, very cool idea. But it's available for free, and it's from Unlim Apps. And basically what this tweak does is allows you to downgrade apps directly in the App Store. So basically, if you're in the App Store and maybe you're downloading, let's say, Twitter. Let's say you didn't want the latest version of Twitter. Let's say you wanted, you know, maybe one from way back in the day when Twitter was just starting out. Basically, this tweak, when you're downloading an app, it gives you the option of continuing, which is just normally downloading the latest version. But then there's another option that lets you downgrade. And basically, if you could select that option, and then basically, it'll provide you with a list of all the different versions of that app, and you could just choose any version, literally any version. And once you choose the version, then you're going to be asked for a certain build number, which you could get from iFile. It's a little bit complicated, but there are some instructions out there. We'll drop those instructions down below in the description. Basically, you paste that in, and then it'll let you downgrade that app. So it's really cool because this is all on device. There are ways you could do it. I think Jeff from my download blog did a post earlier on how you could do it without this tweak through your computer. But this basically allows you to do that. Downgrade apps directly on your iPhone, which is really useful. So what do you guys think?
As a blind user of iOS, this is like revolutionary because a lot of times with updates, unfortunately, there is a loss of accessibility. So, yeah, you know what? As a blind user of iOS, this is huge. This is an absolutely huge tweak. And I am completely thrilled with this. It's funny, I actually had a message from one of my friends today telling me about this tweak, and I was studying, so I didn't have time to take a look at the message. But and I only saw it after I finished studying, right before I came to do the podcast. But yeah, no, definitely a huge tweak, because a lot of times what happens is that when apps get updated, voiceover support is not as good as it used to be. So, okay. So essentially, then I have trouble using the app. So notorious apps for that, like Skype, always used to do that back in the day. They've gotten a bit better with it now, but that's just an example. So yeah, this is absolutely fantastic. I cannot wait to go and take a look at that. And as you were saying earlier, Andy, Jeff did, I think, do something you said, right?
Yeah, if you're not jailbroken, you could basically follow a more complicated procedure on how to do this on your computer, basically editing some stuff with iTunes. But this just makes it a whole lot easier because, it allows you to do this on device. And it's still not the most easy thing to do, but it's just easy because it's all there,
And another thing I do want to point out is I don't think you need your build number from iFile. I'm pretty sure it's in your About settings.
Well, it's for the particular app, so basically you need to it's like, for example, if you wanted to downgrade Twitter, you just need to have Twitter installed, the latest version or whatever version. You go into iFile, you'd look at the iTunes P list, and then you'd find basically I think that particular P list keeps a record of every version that the app ever had, and you scroll back to whichever version you want. You have to get that specific number for that version. And then that's what you have to paste into.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Again, we'll have the instructions down below. It's pretty complicated to explain, but yeah.
Yeah, and in principle, it's fairly simple. It's just to explain, it's quite complicated. But yeah, this is awesome. I am absolutely over the moon about this, and it's free.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable that this is a free tweak. It's just so useful, and you could do so much with it. It's really good that something like this is free. I don't think that I will have a use for this. I actually haven't even installed it. I see the use, absolutely. It's an amazing use case, but I'm just not the kind of person who usually downgrades apps. I don't really find the need to unless something's really bothering me. But again, I see the use. So what about you, David? Is this something you'd use?
I actually have it installed. It's actually I've been playing around with it over the past few days. It's actually really cool. So Jeff from iDownloadBlog did do a post about this. I saw that. And he basically, and I tried it out too, like I basically did what he did, because it was really cool, because it was like, a really, really old version of Twitter, like before Twitter was even like really a thing, like when Twitter was just starting out. So it's like really, really cool to like see, oh yeah, here's Tweety, like before Twitter, pre-Twitter, like before Twitter was an actual iOS app. So it was like really cool to see that, and that's like the oldest version that is actually on the App Store. So yeah, I mean, I could definitely see where this would be a good, like if this supported older firmwares, because I know like when I a few years ago when I looked into jailbreaking my iPod Touch 2nd generation, the newest firmware that thing has is 4.2.1. So I mean, that's quite a long time ago. And I think apps now on the App Store have like a restriction to what, like iOS 6 or maybe even
I don't know.
iOS
Some
7.
apps work for like iOS 4, but most of the time you're not going to be finding MIDI apps. I'll just say.
Right. So this is where if it had a functionality where it would outsource that and get like an older version, as long as because obviously if it's a newer app that only was on like 7 or later or 6 or later, obviously they're not going to be able to provide like a version that works on 4 or 5 or whatever.
I mean, Apple somewhat does that. Like if you actually already have an app, owned, if you've already downloaded it in the past, Apple will offer you older versions by default if you have the app. But at the same time, if you have never installed the app, it just won't let you. So this tweak's compatible with iOS 7, 8, and 9. So if you guys are on iOS 7 and maybe an app isn't letting you download it, and you don't own it, this could definitely be a solution for sure.
The funny thing is, like, for example, with a game, I remember there was one game that I used a while back, and saying that this tweak is good, I can also see the flip side of it, because I remember there was one game that I used to play, and this game had a monumental bug where I was able to cheat and win almost every single game that I played because of this bug that the game had. So
That's true. Yeah.
you know, going back and taking advantage of that is possible now. But
Yeah.
you know, like overall, huge in my opinion, this tweak. I there are no words. Like, I'm absolutely thrilled with this.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, another
me too.
thing which is interesting, and I was just thinking about this as well as a possibility. Now, it seems like Snapchat has kind of stopped caring at this point, but I remember there was, you know, a little time period where they were like, "Oh, you jailbroke. We're not going to let you use Snapchat." And
Yeah,
then,
and then started
oh,
banning
you know,
accounts.
so
you know.
yeah, so you'd be able to downgrade your app and, you know, get a version of Snapchat that didn't have that jailbreak, you know, the phantom jailbreak tweak block on it.
Yeah,
So
also there's there's all kinds of patches and stuff like that that you'd be able to avoid. So it's true, you could use this for like anything, good or bad, pretty much.
Oh yes. It's crazy. Like, there's so many options now.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but once again, it's available for free, which is just insane. It's, you know, I'm assuming a lot of work is put into this, so it's awesome that it's free. And once again, it's called App Admin. It's from Unlim Apps. So next up, we have a few Safari tweaks to talk about. They're pretty small, but I thought that they provided some nice improvements, so I thought I'd mention them. So first up, we have FlatSafariURL. This is available for free. It's from developer Chikua. I think that's how it's pronounced. I'm not sure. But basically, what this tweak does is in Safari, you know how when you're looking at the top URL bar, how it kind of, you know, it kind of has this. It's kind of hard to explain. It basically has a little gray inside to it, like. It's not solid white, basically. There's a little bit of, you know, shadow to it. Basically, this tweak completely removes that shadow and just makes it flat and clean. And to be honest with you, it just makes things look a little bit, you know, smoother. Nothing monumental, but it just kind of makes things a little easier on the eye. So nothing to lose there. Once again, it's called Flat URL or Flat Safari URL. Excuse me. I don't know, David. Is this something you'd use on your device?
Possibly, I don't know. I mean, when I use Safari, a tweak like, I think, what was it? I forget exactly what it was last week, but there was a tweak that, and I still haven't installed it yet. I need
Safari
to get on
Be
this.
Better.
Yeah. Safari
Yeah.
Be Better. Something like that I
I
could
love that
definitely
tweak.
see installing, personally.
Yeah.
But this just doesn't really seem like something I really would
Pretty
need to.
graphical. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Justin, obviously, I mean, I don't think this would really apply because it is purely visual. And to be honest with you, it doesn't really add any features or anything.
Yeah,
like that.
but I mean, look, there is no loss with it. It is a completely free tweak, and I think that is also something to bear in mind. And I think the developer, you know, recognizes that, which is why I think the tweak was made free.
Yeah. And again, if it fixes someone's annoyance, hey, no harm done, right? So
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what jailbreaking's all about.
Yeah,
fixing
oh, yeah,
annoyances.
Yeah, I like tweaks like this, just small little things. And then we have another one from the same developer. It's basically a very similar thing, just a small Safari improvement. It's called ColorSafariProgress, all one word. And this one basically lets you change the color of the little, you know, progress bar when you're loading new web pages in Safari. By default, it shows up under the URL bar and it's blue. This tweak just lets you change it to anything else. Again, very, very small change, but I like this tweak because for some reason I changed all the colors of like my keyboard, my toggle switches, and my control center to red in iOS. I don't really know why I did that. I just I like theming things to, you know, to kind of like match, and I don't know. I do a little bit of theming, so this is something that, you know, it just adds to that, and that's why I have it installed. So again, and maybe you don't want to have some unified theme. Maybe you just want to change it for whatever reason. Again, just a small thing, nothing to lose. What do you guys think?
This tweak just like I'm just really surprised someone came up with this idea because, you know, as you were explaining it, I'm like, how, you know, obviously there are probably people, oh hey, I could theme this, I could theme that, but how niche is this, you know, group of people that says,
it's not very
oh
practical,
hey, I want
but
to change the color of the progress. Like, I would have never in a million years thought, oh, hey, I want to change this.
It's the same thing. Like, I didn't even know. I knew that there was a loading bar, but I wasn't, like, conscious of the way that it
it
looked.
wouldn't have occurred to me.
I mean, but again, guys, there's no sense in, bringing that up because, again, it's free. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, hey, I have it installed,
kind of defeats the purpose of the argument when the tweak is free. Now, I could see this being an issue, if the tweak was paid, but it's not.
If it's like 99 cents, then there's something to talk about. But
yeah, I mean, free tweak lets you customize something. I love it. So
yeah, exactly right. So
yeah, and then again, those last 2 tweaks, FlatSafariURL and ColorSafariProgress, are both from developer Chikula. Thanks to him for improving some Safari functions, and that pretty much wraps up our tweak section.
Lots of free ones this week.
Definitely, yeah, and a lot of good ones too.
Oh yes, definitely.
And you know what? That's
sure.
good to see because the community's getting a little bit more stronger, I guess, in terms of because there was like definitely a period of time, and now we're seeing more free ones come out, and it's not obviously the free ones aren't huge, but it's nice to see that the community is, developers in the community are trying their best to have some different tweaks, be free.
I agree.
Tweaks be free.
Free tweaks for all, yes.
Tweaks be free,
So, I think that just about wraps it up. Anything else you guys wanted to bring up before we wrap up?
No, I think we're good.
Yeah, I think it's been a good show, guys. Thank you guys, as always, for doing this with me and stuff. It's always really fun to do.
Definitely, yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh man, if we weren't live, I think you guys know what I would say right now.
Yeah, we know.
My favorite word.
What, cluster?
No one's watching,
There's one viewer watching, but whatever.
What? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, David. This is a family show.
Oh,
the stream just said an error
so
occurred.
Hypocritical. This is a family show.
David,
I don't say that to you every week.
This is a family show, David. Come on.
I'm sure lots of families are jailbreaking their phones together as a family.
Well, you never know.
Actually, I have a friend who jailbreaks all his family's phones.
Yeah, every single member of my family's phone is jailbroken, and it's just for Tether Me. They all are like Tether Me addicts.
My family would kill me if they saw City on their phone. David, what's this? Nothing. It's an app that makes your phone really cool.
I mean, there are people in my family who barely know how to use iPads. So jailbreaking, yeah,
I know. Hey,
and that's
I set it up.
Yeah, that's why a lot of my family doesn't want me to do anything with that because if I messed it up, they don't know enough about it to be able to fix what I messed up.
I saw a tweet from Melissa Archer. I'm not sure if you guys saw this yesterday.
Oh yeah, about her dad getting. I saw that.
My dad got a new iPhone. I'll be able to sleep better. And so I replied, that depends if he knows how to use it or not.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But I actually like helping people set up their technology. A lot of people are annoyed by it, but I like it. I like sharing information with people.
I like it, but if it's excessive, I will not
like
deal with it.
But if people are bothering me the way they are at school about, oh, hey, I want 9.1 emojis. How do I do that?
I like stuff like that. I like, jailbreaking.
I like
sharing my knowledge,
I like it, but, it's the same two people that are coming up to me asking me, and I'm telling them things, and it's not working, and I have other things I need to do, like podcasts with you guys, and they're FaceTiming me, and they want to know how to jailbreak. When I'm telling them it's super easy, all you have to do is press one button. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. I like it.
Obviously, I like it, because if I didn't like it, I wouldn't be making YouTube videos. So
Yeah. But I know. I guess I can understand. It could get annoying, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's fun.
I don't know. See, for me, it's if they're taking advantage, I won't accept that. That's no. But otherwise, yes, by all means.
All right, David, want to take us out?
Sure thing. Well, unfortunately, guys, we've come to the end of the episode. We've come to the bottom of the show notes. So, I just wanted to say thank you guys, obviously, for joining me for episode 25. Always a great time. And yeah, we will see you guys back here next week for episode 26. Gonna be a great time. Hopefully we have hopefully fairly soon we have a jailbreak to talk about, but that's a story for another podcast. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. Thank you guys all for joining. If you want to, share this podcast around with people that like jailbreaking, feel free to, because obviously that would mean the world to us if you did so.
Oh, yeah.
We would definitely love that. Also, you can add us in the podcast app or in the podcast app. You can do that. It's down below in the description if you want to do that. In the show notes as well. But anyway, guys, thank you guys so much. And until next time, guys, this is the Jailbreak Weekly crew signing out. You took my signing out. You can't do that. No. That's my signature thing, even on my videos. This is David signing out.
I'm sorry. I had to try it once.
We messed up a lot while recording this episode. Here are some bloopers, and as always, enjoy. On, guys, welcome to Jailbreak Weekly, episode number 25. This is awesome because we are at episode 25, so another
live
milestone.
with episode 25.
But yeah, I'm trying my best, and Siri is picking me up for some reason. I don't understand why I didn't say "Hey Siri," but yeah.
Hi Siri.
Hey Siri.
It's not gonna work.
Hey Siri.
Guys, I have my earbuds.
Yeah, guys. David's
Hey,
wearing
Siri.
Maybe if I yell it loud enough.
Hey Siri.
Hey Siri.
Goodbye.
Dude,
Hey Siri, how are you? Hey Siri, how you doing? Hey Siri, laugh. Hey Siri, laugh.
Good. Okay, hang on.
Alright, let's stop playing around. Oh, I forgot. I'm posting. I completely forgot I was posting. I was waiting for you guys to start.
We take pride in our
My bad, guys. I completely forgot I was posting.
Okay, here we go, guys.
So, David, do you want to take us into the news?
Alright, I guess I'll take you into the news.
Edit that part out, guys. Alright, who wants to take that?
Alright.
That stuff out, yeah. So I think that this does bear, it is worth. Okay. Okay. I think that the Luca Todesco. What?
Todesco. What?
Todesco. What? Okay. I think. I'm sorry. I had to. We were making jokes before the podcast, and I had to. Okay. What was I saying?
That if you give them $50, they'll drop it. Yeah.
January or yesterday.
As of 7. Hold on, start over. I was gonna say as of 7 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And this developer in general, brand dev, actually received a lot of Android style jailbreak tweaks.
Is this another brand dev?
Oh no, this is actually TweakWiz and Turbo.
Oh my bad.
That's okay.
I'm so stupid. I'm sorry. I was looking at redesign notifications. I was just like, I thought we were still talking about that for some reason.
No, it's because essentially what will happen is, voiceover, the tweak will become a lot harder to use. So this is absolutely fantastic. Huge tweak in my. What?
You said instead of app, you said tweak.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to point that out so people later are like, you said
David wins, everybody.
David. Okay, so I'll start over. You know what? As a blind user, this is like, why can I keep moving my head and it's annoying because then I'm not facing my mic and it drives me bananas. Okay. 1 sec. And then it keeps like almost falling out of my there. Okay. No, stay. Okay.
So I basically so Jeff from I download
Jeff from I download bleh. Yeah.
Okay, guys. All right, David, want to take us out?
Wait, just redo that.
Okay. All right, David, want to take us out?
No.
Okay, Justin. Okay.
Okay, Justin.
Do you want to take us out, Justin?
No!
All right. So, want to take us out, David?
No.
Oh well, I didn't actually expect you to do it.
Oh,
did that
you
once.
did. You
No.
did. Oh.
You actually took that.
actually-
Oh my! I was wondering why you weren't laughing. You know what? Here we go.
Okay.
All right, David. So, want to take us out?
I was waiting for him to do
He's not gonna do it.
Okay. Okay. I'm. Guys, it's okay. Okay, it's okay. Okay.
It's okay.
Okay, guys.
Oh, do you want me to like actually?
Yes.
Okay. No, because I thought he was
alright.
gonna start it over again.
Yeah, I'll start it over. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
All right, David. Want to take us out?
To the note. Okay. Okay. I'm done. I'm done. I had to.
To the no.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, David.
What was that?
I was waiting for Justin to interrupt me. I feel like he was gonna swear at me.
No, but it just sounded so depressed. Like you didn't want to say.
David.
You're like, what has my
wanna-
life become?
Wanna.
What has my life become? I'm getting sworn at by a blind Canadian kid.
Who thinks tweets are cluster?
Yes,
Well,
exactly.
we have 2 viewers right now.